guys, welcome to week 23 of my Project Life process. And this is a Project Life page that I used a snap collection with, and the snap collection is called Family. So a lot of the papers and embellishments and things like that came from that collection. And then I also used some of the papers and things from my stash. So here I'm just making the title card, and I am keeping this layout very, very simple. You can actually see the video is only about 8-9 minutes long. So this is a pretty short video for me, but it's a one-page spread and then a 6 by 12 on the right hand side. And like I said, I kept this very, very simple. I was a little bit behind when I was doing this, so I was trying to catch up. And I just didn't think that this one needed a lot of embellishments. I like the clean look of the kit, the snap kit. So I kind of kept it simple. So here I just cut out that mason jar and added a strip of the back page of where I cut the mason jar out of. And then I used some of my washi tape from my stash and just added a little border. I felt like it looked a little funny, like it looked disjointed from the yellow 4x6 card. So I decided to add that little strip just to give it a little bit something. And I'm going to attach that there just a little bit off center, or not off center, I should say, like a little bit tilted to the left. And then I'm going to bring that color in by using this little corner. And after I stuck this down, I realized that flower looks like it's upside down. So I'm just going to pick it up and move it to the top right of the card. And I think I may have mentioned this in another video, I'm not quite sure, but man, that tape, whew, that this to that adhesive is sticky. It just sticks and you usually can't get it off. So I was surprised I was able to get that corner off. Now I'm just going to take some of that leftover washi tape and put a little shelf so that my week 23 will have something to sit on. And I'm going to be using a thicker font for my week this time. And it's going to be this really cool glittery red scripty font. And it's called Lullaby. And it is probably an older one. I get most of my thickers from Marshalls or TJ Maxx because I can get them for like $1.49, and that is a steal. So paying full price for thickers is just typically not something I do. But I haven't been to Marshalls or TJ Maxx recently. The last couple of times I had went, there wasn't a whole lot to choose from. So I'm not sure if they carry the thickers too much anymore. And sorry about it being blurry. I fixed it there as you can see. So I apologize for that. My camera doesn't autofocus. I use my iPhone 4S and it doesn't autofocus very well, if at all. So I'm typically always tapping it to get to focus, and sometimes I forget when I go in and out. Here I'm just going to use some little sequins that I got from a Scraptastic kit quite some time ago. I think I've pulled this bag out and used them, tons of times. That's the nice thing about these little sequence packs. You get a variety of colors, and then there's just way more than it even seems like you have. So I'm just using little mini glue dots to glue those down, and that's pretty much going to be this particular card. There's not going to be much more to it, if anything. And I'm going to show you a close-up. And I don't know if I mentioned it, but I did pop that little mason jar up using my Stampin' Dimensionals, and you can kind of see how that looks there. And I just love those stickers. It reminds me of Dorothy's ruby red slippers. They're just so pretty. So now I'm going to move on to another card here. And this is just going to have a very simple flower on it. I cut this flower out using my scissors, and I'm going to speed past this so you don't have to watch me cutting the entire thing out. And so I just fussy cut it, and then I'm going to glue it down to the bottom right hand corner of the card. And I'm going to add a couple different colored sequins on top of the center of the flowers that just match the same color of the flowers. So again, just a really simple accent on this card. The paper here is from my stash. I did a big purge of all my pattern cardstock. I had a lot of scraps, and instead of throwing it out because I just can't throw stuff out, I went through and made several 4x6, 3x4, and then some 2x2 and 3x3 squares so I could use it in my project life. And I actually really enjoyed doing this. So it helped me use up my scraps, and it got a lot out of this drawer that was kind of overflowing. So that was perfect. So if you guys have a lot of scraps, this is a great way to use them. I highly recommend doing that so you don't feel like you're hoarding, and then you also feel like you can get them on your pages and not throw them away. So here I'm just using my fine liner glue bottle with my Scotch Quick Dry in it and adding this little word home to this picture. And I probably would have used my dot runner on this if I had the glue, but because I was using that this to that, it's like a tape runner is more than a dot. And so it would leave a lot of webbing between the thin lines. So here's that snap collection. Like I said, it's called Family. And I'm going to show you kind of what it looks like here and then show you the back so you can see all the different cards and things you get. And I just think this is such a cute kit and it is great colors. So here is another piece of paper and another one of those cards that came in that little snap pack. And I'm just going to take my Crop-A-Dile on the 1.5 or half inch rounded corner. Just cornering those off. I felt like it needed to be a little bit rounder. It looked a little funny being so angular. I guess with all the other angles of the triangles, it needed something else. I'm going to put this washi tape down and put it like a banner across the page, except you're totally not going to be able to see it. You can see it, but it just blends in a lot with this background. But I did want to bring that color across to the other side of the layout since I did have it on the left-hand side. So I felt like I needed to put something there. And then I'm going to top this card off with a few more of those sequins. And again, I'm just going to adhere those down using my glue dots until I'm going to fuss with them for like 20 minutes before I decide where I want them. Sometimes they just look too contrived or something. I need to get them differently. So I don't know. I play with them a lot. So next I'm going to, I'm going to show you a close-up of that just so you can see those sequins. They're so pretty. I need more sequins and I also need to use them more often on my layouts instead of just my project life. So now moving on to this card here, another one of those pieces of paper from one of my scraps, and I'm just adding this little tree on here and then I'm going to journal on the card just using my Sharpie fine line pen. And that's pretty much going to be the last. Oh, no, I actually have another card. I apologize. I do have some more cards. So I'm going to add a sequence here on the tree or by the tree. And then this card is going to be done. I should have cut that little white part out of the middle. I don't like how that looks. It kind of is distracting, but it's done. I'm going to let it go for now. This is the last card I have. So I'm also going to round the corners on this using the 1/4 inch. With it being a smaller square, I thought having the 1/4 inch rounded corner would look a little bit better than having the 1/2 inch. So I'm going to glue that down. Then I'm also going to put a washi strip in the bottom right hand corner, just again to bring that throughout the page and just kind of have some cohesiveness. And I'm just going to cut that with a fishtail at the end. I'm going to add a couple sequins to this. And like I said, that's pretty much it. I want to thank everybody for coming over and joining me today. If you haven't already, please subscribe. If you would, give me a thumbs up if you liked the video. If you have any questions or comments, leave it below. And thank you guys so much for subscribing and hanging out with me. Talk to you guys soon. Stay tuned for a couple of the photos of the close-ups. Thanks. Bye.